Well, the deal with being schizophrenic is you don't get to choose. You know, you just like kind of hang out and go, hey, let's see who's gonna show up today. Sometimes it's rednecks, you know, from hell, and sometimes it's, you know, English gentlemen, and sometimes it's people from somewhere else, man, you know what I'm saying? You know, so you never know, you just kind of hang out and wait. You know, I was always the kid that was in class going, hi, Mrs. Feldman, you know, and I was making voices, and it's really kind of funny because now, dubbing lots of Japanese anime and voiceovers for commercials and stuff like that, whenever I get a big contract, I call my second grade teacher. And it's great fun. Hello, Mrs. Feldman. Hi, it's Eddie. I got another $30,000 job. Stop calling here. How'd you get this number? I've changed it 9 times. You know. but I was just always talking stupid. When I found out people would pay you to talk stupid and you didn't have to be in politics, I said, I'll take that deal, please.
Well, I think we just picked up Dracula.
Where you headed, man?
South. You work at that place? Oh, no.
How did you get stuck way out here?
I had an acting class, and you know, I'd forgotten to learn the lines. Well, actually, I hadn't actually forgotten. I was salsa dancing with the Larondo twins at a local nightclub, and had stayed out far too late and still learning my lines. So I'm sloshing back to acting class, and one of my little lady friends runs out of the drama department at the University of Texas and says, are you gonna try out for the movie? And I went, the movie? What movie? They're good, they're casting a movie. I said, oh, hell yeah, let's go try out for the movie. So we ran in there, and here's Tobe Hooper, and Tobe walks over and he goes, come here. And I go, hi. And he goes, are you mocking me? And I went, no, why? And he goes, can you be weird? And I said, whoa, weird is what I do. I patterned the character that I did for him after my nephew, who is a diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic. I'm just schizophrenic, but they haven't diagnosed me yet because I don't go to the doctor. You gotta keep moving, you know. But he had actually gone to the doctor and gotten diagnosed. My nephew has walked this fine line for years and has never really whacked anybody, but we were always waiting for the call, you know. Because he does all that stuff, you know, that I do. And he scares the devil out of people. But he's not harmful to anyone at all. He's never harmed anybody. But we're always waiting for that call. He finally lost it, killed 32 people at a rest stop in Laredo. You know, I mean, oh, well, come get him. The difference between when you're on an A set, like, you know, I shot a JFK with Oliver Stone. You got a handler with a clipboard and a walkie-talkie. There's 360 walkie-talkies on set. They take you from the set, they walk you to the room that you're in. They put you in the room and you sit and you wait. You don't get to talk. They don't want people wandering around. You have to sit and be quiet. You know, low budget movie making, everybody's everywhere. You got people leaning over the rail, you know, that work at the bread place next door going, I think you ought to put him in that chair there. You know, I mean, that's low budget movie making.
You took my picture. It's a nice picture. You can pay me now. Huh? $2. It's a good picture.
No, man. Frankly, give him back.
It didn't take too long to shoot the stuff in the van, but we had to shoot, again, low budget movie making. Have you ever worked with gunpowder before? Absolutely. Okay. You'd know then how much to put on top of a Polaroid picture to not make it unsafe to... Oh, absolutely. Right. The first thing you say in show business is, they say, well, Ed, can you roller skate? And you go, can I roller skate? Of course. And you go out that night and learn so you can get the part. So somebody obviously said, absolutely, I've worked with gunpowder. But what they did was, the scene where I'm in the van, where I'm supposed to put the gunpowder on top of the Polaroid and blow it up if the person doesn't pay me my $2 for it, because I have to do away with it. Their spirit must be low. They put too much gunpowder, and it almost blew us all up. So we had to shoot that again a couple times. You can hear Tobe in this cloud of smoke going, I think we're gonna have to use a little less gunpowder. Acting pretty much is reacting to what is presented to you, you know. And so all you need is something to play off of. Luckily, I had fun people to play off like Gunnar and Paul Parte and Marilyn and Terry McMinn and people like that who could give you something back, at least, you know, because sometimes there's nothing worse than, take it! And they go, what? You know, I'll take it. You know, no, but this was a good happenstance. But it was really great to come up with a group of kids like that you could actually work with. So coming up with the character was easy, just bouncing off of what was coming at me.
Oh, I'm about half ready to call a cop.
That's the last goddamn hitchhiker I ever...
Jimmy Seau was the best. He had the best sense of humor. I mean, you know, that sequence where he's poking Marilyn is just, that's all Jim. He's made all that up. But he was just the best. And there's one sequence where he's the only one I know that could have got away with this without me killing him. The sequence where he's hitting me with the wooden dowel outside the truck. They had, you know, low-budget movie making. They turned to the prop girl, and Tobe says, well, give me something for Jim to use head with. Got any of that balsa wood left? And she goes, balsa wood? Oh, yeah, balsa wood. She goes over and she picks up an oak dowel that they were using to support the camera with, and she hands him the oak dowel. So instead of the balsa wood, in the movie, in the scene, he's beating me with this. And I'm screaming and carrying on and flailing about in the dust. Dust is flying, rocks are going, and you can hear them off camera. I can hear them out of the corner. Wow, Ed's really doing good tonight, isn't he? It's going swell. And poor Jim had not a clue. And I was, of course, black and blue. And I didn't tell him until much later. Oh, I'm sorry, Ed. I wouldn't have done that. I'm so sorry.
I thought you was in a hurry.
I have worked on, you know, $60 million films, and I've worked on $24 films. That set was the most fun to play on. Robert Burns just would get up in the morning and drive around the hills country with a box looking for stuff. And he'd find dead armadillos, and he'd find dead chickens, and he'd find cow bones, and he'd find bones he didn't even know what they were. Hopefully they were animals. He would cut pillows open and dump the feather pillows all over the floor. And then he would just sprinkle bones all over the floor. So when you walked, there was crackling and sound and feel. It was all textural. And I know for a fact, as an actor, that a third of my performance came from that set. It pulled it right out of me.
We were just having fun. You think this is a party?
The most difficult was certainly the dinner sequence, because it was so long. We shot forever. We shot for like a couple of days or something. It was like insane. It was like, oh. But that was I moved troops in Vietnam easier than that scene, I'm telling you. You know, through triple canopy jungle was easier than that scene.
You like this, Dave?
Well, again, low-budget movie making. You had a piece of sausage, a real piece of sausage. In A movies, you don't use real sausage. You use fake sausage, because whoever would have been the prop master would have understood. You know how much lights you have to film with, just horrendous lights. It doesn't look like it when you see the movie, but there's horrendous lights everywhere. That sausage started decomposing on that plate. If you look closely and watch the film closely, you can see fumes coming up, literally. Now, the plates of sausage are right underneath our noses. And we're all like leaning, like, quit leaning! Stop leaning! Get back in frame! You know, we're all like, dude, put your nose over here, man. And you couldn't move it because we'd already shot a bunch of scenes, and you couldn't move it for continuity. You know, because it's right there, right in frame of the camera. You know, you couldn't move it. What are you going to do? The best time on the set was hammering Marilyn in the head. That was because we couldn't keep from laughing, because we were using a paper mache hammer, which sounds like this when you hit your flesh. That's the sound. So they dubbed the sound in. But on the set, and you're doing these horrible lines about I'm going to kill you and you're going to be bloody and you're boop. It's silly. So it's real hard to keep concentration. And we were doing stupid stuff like means bleed. They would go, cut that out. Oh, sorry. Was I out of character again? Way out. It's a very effective shot, but it's very simple movie making. You put your chest up against the truck and you back the truck up, and then you do your motions in reverse. And then they just reverse the film. And that way they can run the truck right, and it looks so friggin' real. You go, oh my God, how'd you do that? Yeah. And then the guy that gets run over is a dummy on wires across the, that's easy to do. But it's amazing how effective a simple shot like that can be. I went to a theater in Austin, Texas, where it was being a first run, and we went and sat near the back. And some Yahoo friends from college and I couldn't resist. About 2/3 of the way through the movie, there were these 3 sorority girls in front of me who had been watching the whole thing. And I tapped one of them on the shoulder and I said, you like this movie? And they turned around and screamed so loud, and they all ran out of the theater, of course. And somebody came over and said, what's going on? And I said, I had no idea. These women were just screaming at this. I think it's the film. It absolutely amazes me. It just won't go away. It shows somewhere in America almost every week. I don't think there was anybody on the planet that wasn't surprised, because we had thought at one time that, like Gunnar and I were talking about, well, this is probably going to show at 3 drive-ins in Poughkeepsie, 1 in Sioux Falls, and I think there's another one in Winnemucca. Winnemucca will book this because they don't get much product there. In fact, at one point, just before the film came out, we were seriously trying to find Tobe to ask them to take our name off the credits, because we thought, oh my God, what if this horrible thing comes out and we're associated with it and it'll kill any stage career that we have. Cut to 2 weeks later. Hi, Tobe. Hey, it's Ed. Just want to check the spelling. Got the spelling right? Okay, good. It's a totally different story after you're on. It's a blockbuster movie. It's making millions, and it was filmed for $1.80. The fondest experience is the public. You keep meeting people over and over and over, and you hear wonderful phrases like, "Whoa, Margaret and I," because they're now like, this is 30-something years later. We first met in high school, and we went to the drive-in theater, back when the drive-in theaters were still open. So we went to a drive-in theater to see your movie, and it was the only movie we ever watched. And if you know American society and you understand what that means, that's powerful. And then you have the kids, see? And that's the most wonderful thing about it, why I mentioned that the neatest thing about it is the public, because every single year, there's a whole new audience for the film. And that's one of the reasons why it won't go away, because there's a whole new audience for the film every year. It's the film that won't die.